Today we have another very exciting Clash of Clans video as we have the professional team of Team Queso battling in a 5v5 30-minute war against the best of the community. So you are going to see every single attack as it happens in this war. This is taking place live at Gamergy in Madrid. Now there was a little event which took place prior to this, and the 5 best players have teamed up in order to take on the professional team. Let me know down in the comments who you are cheering for and who you think is going to win. But without further ado, let's get into it. Here we go, we have Gamergy coming in first, the best of the community. Can they get this done? Now, Tribe Gaming also battled this community team, and if you want to see that war, exactly the same format, I will be sure to link it at the end of the video. Starting out here with a Queen Charge, very successfully creates that funnel, rather cheaply as well, and then we can drive straight in towards that Eagle Artillery. You can see that test loon, very nice, but does get drawn off towards that cannon, so not exactly going to test this area in front of the Eagle Artillery that he would have wanted to, but successfully gets the Queen straight into that area. Now we have more battles from this event in Madrid, so be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of them. The Queen now takes out the enemy Queen, and we come forward here, able to take out the Multi-Inferno, and the Lava Hound then pops out, and there is not a lot of damage on the Queen. We have the Expo and the cannon, but that is more than enough since we still have all of them healers. We do use that rage spell because since the Queen was under the freeze, wasn't able to take out the balloons quite yet, and they do a lot of damage. That minion does come in to help the lava pups at the bottom there, and a nice successful Queen Charge, I would say that has been. Black Bomb does go towards the Lava Hound, not always ideal because you do lose the hounds and then you've got no coverage for your loons, especially when you only have 2 of them. So the Stone Slammer being used as a bit of tankage here as well, and already starting the Lalo at the top section. That is because we have to get into the middle as well here to take out just these few defenses. The Queen is stepping up to get there, but the unfortunate thing is we were only at 40% and they have missed the town hall. But I think we should be pretty good to adapt here. Brings in just a couple of loons. The Queen is not going to be under any damage, so she is also going to take that. I might have risked it and just let the Queen go for it, if I'm honest, because them balloons do nothing, and the haste spell in the back alongside them 4 balloons would have probably been enough, but the Queen goes the wrong way. She is not going for the town hall, and this one is unfortunately going to start off for the community as a 1 star. Whenever you do a Lalo and you get to the town hall, you have to ensure that the town hall is activated before the balloons get there or as the balloons get there. So you need to make sure you are at 51%. Could have been done in this one by driving minions in and taking out the trash buildings, or you can take an earthquake spell in order to activate the town hall. Sometimes players rely on a Lava Hound popping and the lava pup then attacking the town hall, but the Queen is certainly not going to get through this area and certainly doesn't have enough time. Should really pop the ability to try and get that little bit extra percent, but honestly it is not going to matter for a 1 star. Not the ideal scenario for the community. Can they hold Team Queso off? If Team Queso get a 2 star, they are already a star in the lead. But all is not lost. The best of the community has some top players in there as well. You might remember some of them, and you might have seen them battle against Tribe Gaming. They took out one of Tribe's bases for the 3 star. Very impressive, and again I will link that video at the end. Team Queso though, trying to take advantage here, using the king on the outside of the base to set up that funnel, drive the Queen in towards that Multi-Inferno, and very successfully they do. A jump spell spell as well will drive the queen to the second multi, but also provide access to the CC and the queen, and also then it clears out the bottom area of the base. I wasn't sure if he was going to try and drive the queen up towards the eagle, but look next to the eagle. There are 4 expos. The queen would get roasted there, so decides to send the queen down this bottom section, and the Lalo can take out them expos relatively quickly. Just waiting until the queen gets a little bit more damage here, takes out the enemy queen, takes out that multi-inferno, going to get down and be able to take out this wizard tower as well, which will be huge to send the Lalo across the top area. I don't like the look at them archer towers at the top. They are going to mess up pathing for the Lalo, so the attacker sends in the slammer first, followed by a couple of loons in order to take them out, and then he can start the Lalo. There it goes, look, merging everything together. Needs to remember the queen's ability here. She is getting low, but obviously professional Clash of Clans player, not going to miss that queen's ability. It would be very nice if there was another rage there, because one of the grounded expos have locked onto the queen, and she is unfortunately going to go down. However, got the multi, got the wizard tower, got what was needed. We've already got the 2 stars, but this is looking promising for Team Queso as they come forward. The final wizard tower falls, and there is more than enough loons to crush this base. So Team Queso, 2 stars ahead already. At this point, the best in the community need a miracle to bring this back. They need 2 3 stars, or they need a serious defense from themselves against Team Queso. Anything can still happen, guys. It's going to be intense to see if they can do it. Plenty of troops swagged, so let's dive into the next attack from the best of the community. They are coming straight back in, and the pressure on Style here is immense. Any of you guys that saw the videos featuring Cream Esports might recognize this player, so let's see if he can get it done. Perform a miracle for the community team. They need a 3-star here, and they need another one or a defense. A similar entry from that attack you just seen as the king drives down the side of the base. Warbreakers easily provide access to the multi-inferno, having to freeze it in order to allow the warbreakers through. Once it is down, the warbreakers still under rage get even further. That is some fantastic skill right there. The queen, though, still has the jump spell in the bag, waiting to allow her to drive through this compartment and up towards the top, where the jump spell can then be used. She's going around. Oh no, that is not what was wanted. He wanted the queen up towards this expo and the eagle artillery. Going to have to jump now in order to try and salvage this. And on the adapt, puts it in towards the enemy queen and towards the multi. Maybe he wanted this to happen, but I highly doubt it. I think he wanted straight in towards that eagle. Manages to get the queen there. Could still reach the eagle here, but she's obviously going to take the jump though, because the other buildings are closer. If this multi goes down first, it doesn't. Queen goes to the air skellies. We wanted the multi down because that's actually doing more damage to the healers. Presses the ability, not because she's in danger, but to try and get the multi down to protect the healers. But the archer tower is on them. He doesn't have a heal spell in order to put onto the healers, and with the eagle still activated, it is going to do damage onto the loons. Now watch this attack and the adaption as the loons come in. 47% minions on the back in order to activate the town hall, but if you get a loon go down, if you get a lava hound pop, you can activate it, and he knew there was a lot of troops going to be in that area. The 2-star secured. Is it enough to come through? He's certainly got enough firepower though. Lots of balloons with the stone slammer. I think the community has a lifeline here, because I think the stone slammer with the troops inside is going to get it done. Is it going to be enough to get the clan castle in terms of time? 40 seconds. We do have minions around. I would get that other minion in from the top, and in it comes to the dark elixir storage. The balloons come across. Once this slammer indeed goes down, oh, he wanted the lava hound to pop. It doesn't, and that could have helped him out, but the minions are going to get caught on the king here. Slows the king down, even though it's not going to do anything. Swags the spell. I am praying that the community get this done. 13 seconds. I think they're going to. I think he's just going to have enough time, and that is what they needed. They've got that lifeline. They have got this back with a 3-star, and they are clinging on. Can they get another one, or can Team Queso really put themselves ahead here with another 3-star? So Team Queso are back in, and if they get a 3-star here, they secure that lead again. The 3-star the community just got might not even come into it, but let's see what happens. The queen starts at the bottom of the base, relatively easy in order to jump and get pretty good value here, but just going to let her walk initially. Is the king going to come in from that right hand side and jump straight in towards the eagle? That would be my guess at this point. Instead of getting the multi, just waiting for the queen to create that funnel herself, and she's coming around. The jump will probably be used on that wall compartment if I had to have a guess, unless the slammer comes in to help. So there is the king at 3 o'clock. As we said, driving through that area needs the healers out of range of that multi. It is just clipping them, but they just move out of the way. The king creates the funnel. Where is that jump spell going to be used? Maybe a little bit further around in order to get this multi as well, actually. Might be a good option. Queen continues to walk around. A queen walk into charge this one, and definitely committing a little bit more time. We're at 30% with 30% of the attack done, so even though we haven't got the Lalo in, we are still on point for the 3. Queen took a lot of damage from that giant bomb. Healer's taking a lot of damage from the air defense. Doesn't necessarily recognize that, because as he moves into the base here, she is going to start taking huge damage. I might have even trickled in a hog rider or two just to try and take out anything there, but he clings on to what looks like only one healer. The queen's ability is used, so not going to get the queen, the CC, or the eagle artillery. The fortunate thing is the hound was not popped. 43% needs to ensure that he gets towards the 50 before getting onto that town hall, and it looks like he probably will, because the minions are quickly in onto them buildings. Balloons are going to take down some of the defenses prior to the town hall. 48, 49, it's going to be bang on 51 as he gets there, and that is exactly what you want. You don't want to activate it too early, because then you're taking damage. If you can activate it when you are on top, then that is good. Now this is good for the community. If they get the defense here in that of the 2-star, then it means they're back in the game, especially if they pull another 3-star out of the bag, and with a multi and 3 wizard towers, it's not going to happen for Team Queso. They are going to get a good percent mined, over 80%, so definitely not an attack to be disappointed about, but the queen charge just didn't quite get it done. It is going to be close to 80, not quite, but it is a good attack. Either way, gives the community a lifeline though, and let's see if they can get another 3. If they do, then they've pulled this back straight away, and what an epic turnaround it could be. Can they do it? They do actually get over 80%. It is going to close out at 81%. Can the community respond? They are straight in here with their attack. 3 stars, come on. I would love to see an epic comeback. Can the community take down a professional team in that of Team Queso? Again, I will link the video where we had the community take on Tribe Gaming, and you'll have to watch that one to see exactly what happened. A couple of loons alongside the baby dragon helped to create that funnel, and that was perfectly chosen, the amount of troops that was needed. The balloons just went down, and now the queen will be drawn down to the bottom. Would have been very nice if the baby dragon could have just sniped off that wizard tower, but wasn't meant to be. The king can clear out a lot of these trash buildings and allow the wall wrecker through to the town hall. Doesn't have to get very far, look guys, just that one layer, but uses the wrecker in order to tank as we move through here, and then we have the jump spell to provide access into that back end of the base. The king drives around the side of the base. Not the end of the world. Could have been quite nice to have him go into the base here, to be fair. One of the rare occasions you might have wanted him to. In comes the minion. Just about gets that queen's ability. I was getting worried there that they were going to miss that. And the best of the community, they need this, guys. They need this 3-star. The king, the CC, everything is lashing onto the queen here. But she does get the town hall down. Now puts the jump. Drives the ice golem in ahead, which is a good thing. Skelly traps go to the queen. Again, a good thing here. keeps them away from the Hog Riders. The Grand Warden is stuck on the King. What are you doing? Go to the Hog Riders. We need the Grand Warden. We need the King to just go down here because the Grand Warden is not following. Finally, it looks like he's just encompassing the Hog Riders, using that ability because he knows if the Hog Riders get too far ahead, he might lose out. The Queen almost back to full health, helps with that Eagle Artillery, but the Hog Riders just go down too fast here as the enemy Queen is still alive, and there's a little bit too much width in the base there in terms of defenses. They did split up just that little bit, going to get close to the same amount that Team Queso just got. This is going to close out at around about 80%. Does have a couple of troops, but with the defenses in the way, has to just spam them all onto one to try and quickly take it down, give them that extra percent, but it didn't happen. 80%, it is exactly the same as Team Queso, so back on the board, they are now in the lead, but Team Queso have that extra attack, and they will indeed, no doubt, get the 2-star, if not the 3. Rigatores comes in, trying for the 3 stars. Now, the best of the community could really do with a 1-star here, but I don't think it's going to happen. Let's just see, though. We know this guy has the potential, and more than just potential. We've seen him on my channel in the last week, 3-starring again and again. But can he do it in this one? Using a couple of loons, again, perfectly placed, just the right amount of troops to get the job done. The freeze onto the multi allows them wall breakers to get that compartment look, but is the Queen going to walk here, or is she going to turn? Thankfully, she turned around. That was a little bit scary there. I thought she might have been drawn down to the builder huts, but she does come in towards the multi. Healers are just out of range, and then she's going to attack the Queen. Has to use the ability because she took a lot of damage. She wasn't near full health, and some shots from the Queen could have been disastrous. Quickly gets the air defense down there to protect some more healers. Has the jump, but again, waiting for the Queen to get done what she needs to first before using it. Allowing the jump to be in place for the maximum amount of time. Now pulls the CC. Lots of archers and the Lava Hound, a popular choice now, but thankfully gets that Eagle down in time. And look at just a couple of loons starting that deployment, but also taking out that cannon to help the Queen. Knows he doesn't have the ability here, just has that rage, and with the lava pups needs to try and protect her. Uses the rage and manages to save the Queen. Only just, mind, and we are down to 1 minute 30 when the Queen goes down, so I think that is going to be not ideal. Just waiting to adjust the attack here. Probably was going to come in more from this 3 o'clock section, but now thinking of the bottom area. Comes in with a mass lava loon deployment at the bottom. 30%. Quickly gets the minions in to clean up and get him to that 50 so that the balloons can get there. A couple of ones come to the side to that archer tower. Help to pass the main pack into the middle as the sweeper pushes the loons back. Waits on the slammer to try and get that onto the Giga Tesla. 51%, and the balloons redirect. Going to have that Grand Warden's ability. Sweeper has a little bit of an issue. Oh, I was just about to say I would be pressing that because the balloons were very low on health, and if they went down, then you minimize the damage onto the Giga Tesla. Presses it, gets the 2-star. The community, with their hands in their mouths, thought they were going to be given another lifeline there, but it's not quite going to happen. Team Queso do get the 2 stars, but it does allow the community to still have the opportunity to pull this back. You've seen the 3-star. They just need one more and that better percent to get it done. Very impressive as the loons come down to the end of it here, getting more and more defenses, and the minions helping to clean up. It is going to be close to that 80% again, but not enough for the 3, and we need a 3-star from the community. Remember, they are a star behind because of the 1-star. What can they do? Let's look at the percentage. It is very, very close. A 3-star for the community would put them in the lead here because they've got that better percentage. What can they do? They are in and they are trying, giving it everything they can in order to get this done. And anyone that does want to watch the video of the best of the community versus Tribe Gaming, a little sneak peek, this attacker gets the 3 stars against Tribe Gaming. Can he get it done when it is most needed against Team Queso? Let me know in the comments if you know what I did there, if you know why that is, but here we go. The king walking around the outside of the base, allowing the queen to set up her own funnel along to the bottom here. Going to have to be careful. Presses that ability, just suies around the top area, but allows direct pathing onto the multi-inferno. Getting this wizard tower would be an absolute bonus. Oh, that could have really helped out if that wizard tower had have gone down there. As the troops move through, the YOLO drone, we have the slammer coming forward with the E-Drags, with the loons. No clone spell, doesn't want to commit that clone. That's why he sent 2 E-Drags of his own, but with so many troops in the clan castle, it is going to slow down the progress of the E-Drags. They're not really going to get that chain, which he wanted to. Oh, they didn't even get the queen. He wanted it to chain through the clan castle to the eagle and potentially even the air sweeper, but it doesn't happen here. Having to adapt on the fly. The queen's still up, trying to pull the dragon out of the way so that then he can fly into the town hall in order to get this done. You have to be able to adapt, so sends in balloons in order to tank, but not quick enough as he only has 1 more loon left. Decides to go for it. 1 more wizard left is what I was going to say. I thought he was going to continue trying to tank and save that wizard because the dragon is going to do a lot of damage onto the loons. The first pack goes down. We have a huge pack coming to the town hall. Uses the earthquake to activate it. Uses the freeze and the haste. Grand Warden's ability has to be pressed here to get that down, and at 43% the minions have to come in whilst the dragon is out of the way in order to get the 2 stars, giving the community a lifeline onto that final attack, but definitely now not looking as good as they lose the percentage advantage here, almost certainly. Very unlucky with the Electron that there was so many skeletons, archers, anything in the CC which delayed the Electro Dragon's chain. You could see what he was trying to do there. You could see the value, but just the troops in the middle held him short. Does rescue it, does get the 2 stars. It is going to be around about 67%, but let's dive straight across as we have Team Queso coming straight back in. Now the community have to get a defense here. They have to ensure that this is not a 3-star so they can be given the opportunity of then getting the 3. They also have to hope that this is not a high percentage, because if it is, they will lose out on that percentage advantage. The king easily creates the funnel on the right hand side, drives around that side. There is a few army camps here which could draw the queen out the way, but the barbarians from the barbarian king help to take that down. The ice golem nicely redirects onto that multi, able to freeze that entire section. What an OP ice golem that is. The multi, expo, archer tower, archer queen, the wizard tower, all frozen, and now the queen with the Sui method able to get so much value thanks to a 15 troop capacity ice golem. Wow, that was incredible gameplay. That really was 300 IQ gameplay right there, guys. Slammer pathing in towards the eagle, going to get straight onto that. Look at the velocity on the Lalo. We've seen this from Team Queso. Gets huge amounts of balloons in. You want to try and one-shot each defense. You don't want balloons hovering over. Struggles with the town hall, has to redirect more loons, presses the ability early. There's all sorts going on there. That is probably going to prevent the 3-star because he lost so many loons in that area, but not to worry for Team Queso as they get the percent, and with the heal spell it is going to be a pretty good percent. Still a decent amount of balloons that they could get through majority of these defenses, but I'm just not sure they have the power to get through it. Let's see. There are a lot of them, guys. If a skelly spell pops here, or the air skellies, they could chip away at the loons. Gets a split here, which is not ideal as the splash damage defenses have gone down, and we are going to be close coming down to it. I think they might get the archer towers here, and he might just do it, despite losing so many loons to the Giga Tesla, the value that the Queen got, the amount of damage on the base to allow the Lalo to get so much value has then given them the 3-star, and that is all but certain to be a win for Team Queso. We're not done yet. Let's see if the community can salvage something. What can they do? But with another 3-star in the bag for Team Queso, it is really looking difficult now for the best of the community. 1 attack left each. They need a 3-star and they need Team Queso in order to fail their final attack. Let's see what happens. If this is not a 3-star, they are counting on a 0-star from Team Queso, from a professional Clash of Clans player, which really is not likely to happen. 1 star is a different story. Things happen when you're taking the risks. But let's just see. They need a 3 outright here. King comes in to quickly swap and take out the enemy king there. Already had that wizard on the army camp at the top in order to quickly and cheaply get the funnel. Wall breakers do not quite get through that area. The cannon was not tanked. And can he get some damage from the balloon in order to open up the wall? That's what I thought he was trying to do there at first. Would have been some IQ there, some 300 IQ again gameplay, but just sends in a couple of more wall breakers to allow the Queen to the town hall. So we are going to get the value, we're going to get what he wanted from this, but it would have been nicer if we could have had a little bit better tankage from the king as the Queen was coming through here and managed to merge that in a little bit more successfully. However, the value is there and we did get that down. Blimp coming in from 3 o'clock with that clone. Again, there's a witch in the clan castle, so that poison is now quickly onto that area. Clones the balloons, which is probably better in this situation since there are so many air skeletons for the Electro Dragon, but it does mean that we might not get the Queen. He didn't. The E-Drag just did not get that shot. Can we get the Eagle to salvage something? No. Oh, there was great value there and just moments away from greatness. Had the Queen have gone down, had the Eagle have gone down, this would have been all but certain to be a 3-star. Again, you've got to take risks, but that was super close. As we now come in with the Lalo, taking out that top area, delaying the Lalo on the right side because we have to allow the loons to come through. We obviously lose a pack of them. That's good that they take out the Eagle, but had that have not been there, then we would have been onto a winner. Queen absolutely in her element here as she shreds the balloons. The Grand Warden's ability is used to try and protect as many of them as possible, alongside the haste spells quickly used in that area to get the balloons in front and hope that the minions and lava pups can quickly take them loons, or the Queen down, sorry, to protect the Queen. Have to use that haste spell any moment, but the loons path to the cannon. There it goes. They will move up towards the wizard tower, trying to get this mortar. Oh, he does get a split and loses some of the balloons here. Not the end of the world, but you want them, once the splash damage goes down, to stay in a huge group. Can he just clutch it here? The air defense is going to prove costly, and with 2 Teslas alongside other buildings surrounding them, it's probably too much to ask, not to mention time here. Very close. Imagine if the Eagle or if the Queen, either one or even both, so close to getting both, if they had have gone down, like I said, all but certain to be a 3-star. Moments from greatness for the community, 94%, and Team Queso, whilst they are behind on percentage, they still have an attack in the bag. Let's see if they can get a 3-star to make it 3 stars and round up this war in style. They are in. Final attack of the video. We have Golo of Cream Esports on defense. What can he do? But really, it's Team Queso, which, I mean, what does he need on this? I think looking at the percentage, he needs like a 20% 0-star in order to secure the percentage. I think he's got this done. Can he get the 3 stars? As the E-Drag does get some value over there, the Tesla farm is going to slow it down, sends in a couple of hogs in order to help, because with the storage, could have cleared out that section a little bit easier, but definitely gets the funnel set, allows the king to create the funnel down that right side. No giant bombs there means that the barbarians help to take out that area very quickly, and what that means is the queen with the queen charge is not going to have to shoot out towards these buildings. She can be drawn into the center, a very similar setup here to what you've seen in that attack before when the ice golem tanked so much for the queen. Still haven't popped yet, but finally one of them does indeed pop. Decides to send a hog rider in, interestingly, to try and just snipe off a defense there. Check for any traps down that area as well, but really just a little bit too quick on the deployment. Rage spells needing to be used very quickly here as there is so much damage onto the queen. She's going to get the cannon, going to then get that expo before stepping up to the jump spell and directly targeting the town hall. We are at 40%, 1 minute 30 left, so the hog riders are going to have to come in relatively soon. Just waiting to ensure that the queen is going to get the town hall before deploying them, and now that she's onto it with that rage, she is going to get it, jump across and hopefully go for the eagle before too long. Pressing that ability, but she's caught in the tornado trap. Would be nice to get that eagle down alongside the enemy queen. Come on, get yourself over there. She gets onto the eagle. Queen decides to go to the hog riders, not what he wanted here, but the enemy queen will quickly be able to snipe her off, and even though he loses a couple of hog riders, that was an amazing queen charge to really get so much value in order to allow the hog riders through. But because of the width of the base, look at how they have split up here and really just lost their momentum. That's what you need with hog riders. You've got to have that pathing, and since the queen just took too long getting through that area, it really messed up the pathing for his hogs. He had to send them in early to prevent a time fail, but it just meant that they then split too much, didn't quite get it done. But with the 2 stars and close to 80%, it is going to mean that Team Queso take the victory in this battle. The best of the community gave it what they had. They did get a 3-star and gave a valiant effort against the professional team. But if you thought that Team Queso would indeed get it done, you are correct. And if you want to see the best of the community battle Tribe Gaming, we have that video linked right here. It was epic. There was 3 stars from both clans. Go and check out if they can get it done against Tribe. But until next time, guys, peace out.